freaking Bear Vtuber, aka Cody. That's what my community calls me anyway. How you
Okay.
doing, everybody?
I think we're doing good today. So, you gotta excuse my late appearance because a lot was going on today, and we're gonna put this a little bit on the backtrack. I don't want anyone to discuss anything about the, you know, drama I was in. That is not what today is for. Today is about what Cody has been in and what he's doing and what he's up to, and what his plan is going forward. Before I start, you made a tweet saying that you were going to graduate after this interview. Is that just fluff?
Um, in all honesty, I thought about it really, really hard, and the moment that I put it out there, I got like 100 DMs saying no, don't do it, and I took a day. I thought about it all day, and then I thought on my way home, you know what? Why don't I just give a stream a go before this Don thing, see if anybody actually shows up and participates? And I did, and it was just, it was a showering of don't go, pretty much. Um, it was like my highest bit donation stream ever for me.
That's amazing.
So it really made me rethink that night about the whole entire graduation thing. And I don't think that I'll be going anywhere, man. I can after that stream, bro. Too many people came in there and told me not to leave, so.
All right, so we're gonna go by category. Nah, no way. Kodiak is one of ours. Would be ashamed to lose him. Exactly, exactly. I think so too. I think so too. If we lost him, who would defend us from all the drama we're in? Honestly, we need him.
Mm.
So yeah, so personal background and VTubing journey. We're gonna go by categories. I have these questions set up. So what made you decide
Okay.
to become a VTuber in the first place?
If you look up everything about me, I started out in the IRL space. First off, showing off, my real face, and I got a whole bunch of nervous hate from the Division 2 community because it turns out I was actually somewhat known amongst them, and they've told me to try something else. It's your face, man. It's not your voice, your knowledge, but try something else. So then I started VTubing. And since I'm a 40K nutcase, lore is kind of my deal. And it really fit perfectly with me. I noticed the reception was a whole lot better for me being a VTuber than, me being anything else. So I just rolled with it and kept on going. And now I'm here.
Right.
Sitting with the Don.
I mean, you are my 29th interview, I believe. So,
Whoa, seriously?
yeah, getting
Freaking
up
top
there.
50, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, man.
How did you come up with your VTubing name and persona?
VTubing name is based on a nickname that I had got from my military time. I got pinned to E5 after WLC, and for those of you that don't know what that is, it's the Warrior Leaders course. It's where you go from E4 to E5. And on the graduation ceremony, a guy who really did not like me came up and open hand slapped me in the face. And I didn't like that, and it was in front of my guys that were like right over my right shoulder. So I just like elevated him off the ground, put him on the ground, and then I cooned him right in front of him. And they just started calling me Bear or Kodiak because my first last name starts with a K after that.
Right, that makes sense.
It's really that simple, bro.
At least there's a story behind a name, Some people don't even have a story, and I think having a story definitely gives credit where your name comes from.
Oh, I appreciate the compliment, man. I'll take that. I'll take that compliment. Put it right here in the heart box.
What was the very first avatar or model you ever used, and how does it compare to the one you use now?
The the first one that I used was a PFP. This is actually my very, very first model ever made. It is made by or created by the great model mom Tati. She's a Ukrainian artist for VTubers, and I was her first ever model that she made. And my model dad, Loki, being the amazing dude that he is, put all this together, and this is what you get. My very first model ever, and I actually loved it, dude, when I unboxed it, man. I fell in love with this thing. I was like, yeah, baby, this is me. This is
Yeah,
so me coded, man.
I mean, it definitely does. Honestly, I mean, it definitely fits your personality. I'll give you that much for sure.
Oh, hey, man. Definitely going for as much personal trait as I could.
Hmm.
Tati gave me a lot of questions, actually, on the personality and what she wanted to emphasize in it. And I was like, military, 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 and that's pretty much me. If you can't tell by all the tack gear on the actual
Right.
model, man.
Who is the first VTuber slash community space that you feel truly welcomed?
Ooh. Truly welcomed me? Honestly, if I'm going through all of them in kind of a slow pace, it was kind of Cinder's group.
Okay.
A couple of guys from Cinder's little Discord before all that happened with her way back when.
Like an entourage type
Uh,
thing.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we were all discussing it, and it was at the time where I was switching over, and they were just like, dude, just go for it. Just rip off the band-aid. Stop being nervous about it, dude. We know that you're a military guy. Just go for it. And I went for it. So it was off of their advice, really.
What was the biggest difference between who you were before debuting and who you are now?
Mm, I'm pretty much the same guy, just a whole lot happier, you know? Um, I honestly have not expected my persona to actually, be resonated within a whole bunch of people like it is today. Because when I started the whole entire VTubing thing, I think I had like 3 concurrent viewers at the time, and now I'm like averaging between 16 and 20 now. So
No.
it's a really heartfelt feeling to have that. So a happier guy. This whole entire VTubing thing, man, was meant to be my little distraction from all the stuff going on around me, and it's working. My VA therapist says that I'm a happier guy. At least that's what he said in the last 2 sessions. So
No, I'm glad to hear it. Uh,
sorry, itching my nose.
have you ever had a moment where you almost quit VTubing entirely, and what kept you going?
Well, that was actually very quite recently. Um,
Oh, it's Nor. Hi, Nor.
Whoa, dude, Nor, what up, buddy? Thank you, bud. Thank you for being here, man. Um, it was that moment in the whole entire KM Drama Fest that Riku sent me that message that he was intentionally throwing me under the bus. I know that we're probably skipping questions here, but that was it right there. That one that one actually hurt.
Right.
But we'll answer more about that later.
How has your real life background, jobs, hobbies slash upbringing influenced your VTuber content?
Well, in IRL, I play a lot of 40K. There's a lot of Space Marine 2 that happens on my channel, like a lot. And I play 40K now with my IRL friends, because I simply talked about one of my streams where I had Space Marine 2 up, and we were all having a good time. And he was like, "Yo, dude, you play 40K? A guy like you plays 40K?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I paint the models and everything, man." And I start going to a hobby shop now at least once a week. Get out there, get some grass, smell some air, meet actual people and talk to them. outside of my work setting because my work setting could be pretty stressful at times. So,
What's one skill from pre-VTuber life that you didn't expect you would be using on a stream?
well, the drastic dynamics of difference between my jobs um, beforehand and now. Um, what skill do I use? Probably the social professionalism that the military taught me. I still get kicked in by my chat for using the words sir and ma'am a lot, so it's my etiquette that I bring into the stream from my old job being in the infantry. I think that that's really helped me. Um, because if you look at most guys out there in the VTubing space, they're kind of like these ultra flamboyant people, and I think that having that different taste in male VTuber is what's really gotten me the attention because I am so like right field of what everybody else is doing that military persona just helps elevate me a little bit more
I think you're
because they
absolutely
can
right.
tell. Yeah, the gentleman's V2. Did somebody just say that in your
Yeah,
chat?
that is what they said. I mean,
I try.
I
I
refer
try. I really do.
I refer to every new woman I meet as madam, so I completely understand it.
Thank you. Oh, another gentleman chat.
Have you ever changed your persona or lore because of fan feedback?
Actually, no.
No.
Actually, my community really hasn't given me a whole lot of pushback on the lore. They like
Mhm.
the whole entire like Doom Guy Slayer Angel Demon thing a lot, actually. They get like really super hyped, dude, when I'm like playing a Doom game, man. Like that's probably the most connectivity I have with my chat is when I'm playing a Doom game, man. They absolutely love that whole entire lore part of me.
Uh, what's the most meaningful in real life that directly inspired the part of your VTuber character?
Um,
Something that
God,
inspired.
I really hate to name drop, but I had an old boss from my first deployment. He was a staff sergeant. He's now a sniper school instructor. So forgive me for not just name blasting what he does because he still does that job. Um, he heavily inspired me because his whole theory back when I was like in E2, E3 in the army was you're going to do something badass, you're going to look badass while you do it. That was like that guy's motto. If you're going to do a badass job, you're going to look cool while the hell you do it.
Right.
So, I wanted to look cool in this and that inspiration from him motivated me throughout my career. If it wasn't for that guy, I probably would not have made it as far as I did in the military, honestly. But that whole entire look cool aspect that he preached is why I have made my model look like this and why me and Tati worked for like 4 months on it together.
How do you
So
handle?
if you're gonna do something, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you can continue before I say the next question.
Um, if you're gonna do something badass, look badass, chat. That's what I was gonna say, man.
How do
Sorry
you?
for interrupting.
No, no problem. How do you handle people trying to dig into or expose your past life slash persona?
I I'm really not bothered by it because if you want to figure that out, it's not really that complex of a past life to figure out. And it really doesn't bother me that people know where I come from and what I've done. The thing that bothers me about that is when they bring my buddies into it, the ones who can't speak for themselves because they're already gone and passed into the next life. That's about the only part of it that frustrates me. But I'm not bothered by people knowing where I come from and what I used to do and how my career ended up and me ending up here. I really don't care that people know. Know my entire life, guys. Put it on the internet if you want to. I really don't care. I don't care at all.
We're going to skip the next one. We kind of went over it. What's one thing about your predating self that you're really proud of that you brought into this career?
Oh. The whole entire thing of, the whole entire excited nervousness that you get before you make actual content. Believe it or not, before I stream every time, I am a nervous wreck. I need like a nice 30 minutes between getting off work, getting in my house, and just chilling out before I can do this. It's that nervous feeling when I was making IRL content too that drove me and pushed me forward. Because if you can overcome nervousness, that means that you're living in the moment. And if you're living in the moment, then that's the best life you can live. And that's kind of what I passed on into this from my IRL tubing experience. I more streamlined it though because I'm more used to it now.
Okay. How has your friend circle changed since you started VTubing?
Well, there's an old saying amongst veterans, you keep your enemies close, or you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer, and the brotherhood lasts forever. Now, there's 3 different stages to that, obviously. Um, I put business associates, obviously, at that kind of lower tier, and I'm fairly new to having business associates in this like little sphere of ours. Um, But the people that hate me, I tend to want to know more about because if you don't like me because I'm certainly just speaking my mind, which is what I'm doing 99% of the time, then you're wanting to shut me down. And I defended the fact that you can open your mouth and say whatever you want. And if somebody's trying to shut down that frame of mind, I want to know who that is because I take that personally offensive. Now, the whole entire Battle Brothers thing or the Brothers in Arms thing, that's the people who are in my stream every day. That is my community. That is not the people that I work with. That is not the people I collab with. If you've messaged me and I have told you my personal life in any way, shape, or form, then you are part of that top tier of people. I literally tell my chat every time that they ask me a personal question about my life, I am not nervous to let them know who I am. They can know it right off the bat, which is what puts them at that Battle Brothers tier of people. So my community is the number one thing that puts me in the Battle Brothers phase. So that's how I look at this whole entire VTubing sphere.
If you could give
The only except
go ahead.
the only exception to that one is Star, obviously. Star definitely
Right.
fits in that top category.
Exactly. I mean, I think Star is absolutely amazing. She's been nothing but amazing to me. I mean, we're in a bit of a spout now, but I mean, give it a week.
We were like that too, dude. 2 weeks ago, believe me.
Yeah. If you could give your previous self before ever hitting that go live button, what would your advice to you be?
Not everybody that has numbers in this game who tosses around that word friend is an actual friend. Most of the people who use that word overuse it and don't know its definition. A friend, when you get in trouble, does not go running away from you. A friend sticks by you through hell and high water. If you are drowning, your friend comes to get you. and gives you advice and helps you. So that would be what I tell my previous self. I would say, don't believe the hype of the word friend. Let it sink in first. Their personality, what they do, what they stream. Get to know that first before you start throwing the word friend around.
All right, you finished the first category. On to category 2. Streaming
Awesome sauce,
and
bro.
content creation.
All right.
What made you choose the game/niche you stream most often?
It's just what I enjoy. The one thing about my life is that I love my military career. Contrary to what most of my hater circle believes, I don't enjoy ending life. That is not what I enjoy. That is not the part of it that I enjoy. I enjoy defending people, which in most of the games you see me playing, I am defending something, some code of honor, people, and that right there is where my mind is the most comfortable. Defending people, standing in front of the big old bad guy and, telling him to F off. That's where my mindset is the most comfortable, which is why I enjoy the games that I play most frequently. Meat is trying to push the MMOs on me, and frankly, you got to have a certain mentality for that. Meat definitely has it. I don't.
Yeah. How do you decide what goes on your stream schedule versus what stays off stream?
Ooh. That's a combination of my personal feelings on a particular day versus what my community's feeling. My community is not shy about telling me exactly what games I'm playing just don't work. They're just not harnessing it, or they start giving me topics to react to. Back when I was in that Discord server, I would get, watch me recommendations all the time. And if I knew that the gameplay was getting boring for them, I would just switch over to reaction content and go, "Oh, hey, you guys wanted me to react to this." And that's what I do. I more or less live in the chaos of it all and just go with it. I don't necessarily have a plan in my stream. Unless it's collabing with somebody else. My own individual streams, I really just don't have a plan, honestly. I tell them what game I'm playing and that there might be reaction content in there. And that's about the most planning that I do.
Okay. What's your go-to drink/snack setup during long streams?
Well, right now, my go-to drink is my Jolly Pop from Advanced GG, and then I'm a big old Reese's Cup person. If I did not have Reese's Cups, dude, while I streamed, I would be a mess right now. I would be a dark, totaling mess if I did not have Reese's Cups.
Can I have Reese's Puffs? I don't think I'm allergic to anything in them, actually.
No. The actual peanut butter cups, man. The Reese's Cups. Oh, I thought you said puffs.
Oh,
it's
no,
like,
cups.
Bro, that's a cereal.
No, I was thinking of cups. Yeah. I just pronunciated it wrong, but no, I don't think I'm allergic to anything. I'm kind of surprised because I'm allergic to everything. Made me think for a second.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, you got to fill up on Reese's while you can, man. That is like happiness wrapped in peanut butter and chocolate, bro. Ugh. I could have the roughest day at work in the world, but then I pop in a Reese's cup, bro, and everything just seems to vanish.
How long did it take before streaming started to feel natural instead of nerve-wracking?
Probably 2 days after I got the model. 2 days after my debut, when I saw, like, when you see the same people showing up to your stream, over and over and over again, it's kind of a comforting feeling, you know. And when you see that repeatedly, the longer it goes on, the more comfortable you get. So I was seeing the same like 5 6 people for a whole entire 2 days. So it made me nice and comfy, man. I think I kind of lost that nervous edge that I used to have after that.
Have you ever had a redeem or bit goal that went completely off the rails?
Actually, yes. Um, I had a about 2 months ago now. Two of my family members passed away. My actual mother and my uncle. I had to spend every waking dollar I had to get between two states to bury them both. And it drained me financially to the point to where I had to. It's probably the most help my community has ever given me and probably will ever give me, but they literally saved my home. I was asking for $1,300. They knew exactly what was going on, and they blitzed through it in almost 36 hours of a subathon that I was doing for it. And Silver out there, if he's in your chat, that man literally paid for half of it by himself. And he's the goddamn man for that. Because with his help I was able to get back on track the next month and literally save my home.
Well,
I was a really
amazing.
vulnerable piece of shit with my uncle passing away. And my community helped me out in a big way that month.
I want to make a quick note here. All redeems for Twitch and Cake do not play during interviews. They were supposed to be disabled, but they seem to be weren't. I asked my mom to, but they weren't. I don't know if he got around to it. But they won't play, so don't bother redeeming anything at the moment, okay? Let's
Listen
see.
to him, guys. He's the boss here. Come on now.
What is the longest continuous stream you've ever done?
Uh, I did a subathon before the whole entire house thing. They kept me going for 49 and a half hours straight. Yeah, that was 49 hours and a half straight with only 3 hours of sleep in between there somewhere. So
That's pretty good.
that's the longest that they kept me going.
My longest stream was 72 hours. And I think you take the
Legend.
cake for longest person on an interview. Yeah, 49 right there.
Really?
Yeah, you would win.
Oh. Awesome, bros.
How do you handle technical disasters live on stream?
I pretty much go, hey guys, Cody made a boo-boo. Wait there while I fix it.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I do. And I try to fix it. I mostly need Star or Meat to help me fix things. And DJ. So
Do you prefer highly produced streams or more relaxed? So like more planned events or just normal?
well, I'm more or less nowadays am just winging it. Before there was a schedule, I was scheduling things on a regular basis. Beforehand, before the whole entire KM incident, it was more planned. Now it's more or less go with the flow, dude, and see where it takes you.
How do you decide when to end end stream early, or how do you decide when you're pushing through your exhaustion?
Well, when I'm streaming during the days that I work, the moment that I feel tired and I'm completely done, I raid out to somebody because I need my energy for my day job. The unfortunate thing is that the Battle Bears do not pay all of my bills yet on a regular basis, so I kind of have to worry about my day job a little bit, and my day job is physically demanding. Um, I'll pull between 8 and 10 miles of walking in a day, and that's going for almost 12 to 14 hours a day up in the mountains of where I live. So it's yeah, if during my work days, if I'm getting tired, I literally cut the stream and go to bed. If I have my days off, I normally go between 8 and 10 hours, bro. I get normally tired roughly about 6 hours in, so I try to push between 2 and 4 hours out from there on my stuff. So that's on a day off though.
I want to say glad to see you, physics. And Cougar asked if I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not perfect yet. I've been a little sick in the last week. I haven't streamed in about a week.
Oh, dang, man. Sorry to hear that.
What's the most ridiculous thing you've added to your setup just for content?
Dual monitoring system. I finally replaced the TV with a monitor. I was going to tell my cubbies about that. My Elgato setup with, oh gosh, what's that stupid little thing called? Not my capture card, but my Stream Deck. That's probably the most like outside the box thing that I have going on for me is my Stream Deck, probably.
Yeah,
I don't have as many buttons as Star does, but I'm getting there.
What was it, like 106 Starcat or something?
Oh my Lord Almighty, dude. She took a picture one day for me and put it on Discord. That woman sent me 70 pictures of every button that she has, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do that, man. I can't even memorize that many buttons.
Dorian, how's it going? We're doing another interview, Dorian. Hi, Dorian. All right. That is one page down. 30 minutes in. How you feeling?
Rock on, bud. Oh, I'm feeling great, dude. I'm feeling good.
Have you ever had a moment on stream where you accidentally revealed more than you meant to?
No. No, because I'm not that kind of guy that likes keeping secrets anyway. So really, whatever I say, I just go for it. And if you don't like the take, or you don't like the reveal, I guess I accidentally hurt your feelings, or I messed up the whole entire immersion process. I kind of don't do that, dude. I find it kind of just fly off the cuff, man. Whatever's in there comes out here, and that came from a movie somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, I just go, dude. I just go, and don't stop.
Dorian Dees is a wave to Kodiak. Dorian D is another great streamer on Rumble, and a great streamer in general. So I'm glad he's here to say hi.
Hey, thanks, man. Hi, how you doing?
What's your favorite type of collab to do?
Strictly when me and that person can be nerds together, and we can just let it all hang off, and we can just chill. Like, playing Helldivers together, getting somebody into Space Marine 2, just playing games together. That's like my favorite thing to do with my friends is play games together. That right there is my favorite thing.
I love that emote, Psycho VT.
Oh, thank you for the hearts, man.
How do you balance entertaining chat versus genuinely enjoying what you're playing? Or is there no difference?
Well, they seem to typically it's when I die that my chat livens up, but that's kind of meta for everybody in the streaming space. So It's when I don't die enough. That's when I got to start paying attention to them because they'll do the little drink water thing repeatedly, and that is when I know they are getting bored. They especially do it with freaking Neven's little VC she gave me. So, yeah. I know when my chat's bored, they tell me to drink water a lot.
10 years from now, what do you hope people remember the most about you and your streams?
That the concept of loyalty that I try to influence people with lasts a while. Because loyalty brings on other things. Loyalty brings on honesty. It brings on personal courage. It brings on things that can push you past your limits. And I hope that that's what I'm remembered for 10 years from now. Because that's what I'm trying to get the whole entire VTuber community to do. We need to stop doing this individual thing, man. It ain't working. It's killing us, bro. We're looking pretty salty amongst social media right now because of all of that. And it's petty.
All right, we're moving on to the next category, community and interactions. From this point forward, all questions will be specialized towards the main drama tactic. So there we go. How do I say this without saying her name? Blue-haired cat VTuber asked. Just didn't want to mention her name. Privately asked you on November 17th, 2025 to stop speaking about her publicly because it was getting people hurt and she didn't want to be doxxed. Quote, for a fourth time, end quote. Why did you respond with pages of text blaming her instead of simply saying, quote, okay, I'll stop?
There was a simple thing when it comes to that particular VTuber. She was constantly telling me to back down, and I don't do that. I'm sorry, but when someone screws over my community, I do not back down from that whatsoever. And I was not going to take her answer from that, and what my community expects from me is 100% honesty. So I just lay it flat out the way that it is. Okay? I tell them what communities that I leave. I tell them where my head is at. And if she does not like that, then, oh well, I can find another business associate to talk to. I am not here to make this whole entire fear bubble that we have in VTubing expand more. Because that's why these guys do what they do. They do it because they want us afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of them. I'm not. You can't have me fake or lie my way into like going, oh my god, I'm so afraid of you. No, I can't do that, man. I can't fake fear. It's just not in me to do so, and that's where the disagreement was with me and her. It wasn't anything meant to be personal against her. She was just trying to make her drama affect my personality and change who I am, and I refuse to let that happen. And she doesn't like me for it. So, live and let learn. Maybe next time I'll be a little bit more quiet in that situation, but I could not be quiet in this situation, man, when I had 100 of my community members literally a part of it. And she failed to understand that. You, the streamer, do not make you. Your community makes you. There is no you without them. And she yet again, she fails to understand that, from my perspective anyway.
The same VTuber said, did you know that you even got Neven doxxed, half doxxed because of this? And, quote, you put others in danger by constantly engaging in it. Are you taking responsibility for the fact that your own continued engagement in public posts were actually that kept feeding into the situation?
I do take accountability for that part, yes. And I do take accountability for the fact that Neves got doxxed only halfway because of me. The other half of her fully being doxxed, though, was the fact that she was in that server to begin with.
So
It wasn't me that started that domino to fall.
let's make you feel a little bit better. The pictures they had were ones that were publicly shown on my stream that she said to show. So don't even worry about it.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even worried about her, dude.
Yeah, it
She's an
was no big
IDF
deal.
veteran. She shot at people. I, I, I don't worry about Neves because Neves has a warrior mentality, man. She may be a little bit more feminine in her approach to things, but at the same time, the woman can handle herself. She's not like the quote unquote said VTuber who was saying that, who's literally just been doing VTubing her entire adult life and has not seen the world, and even seen the darkest side of the world before, which is why I'm not worried about her. The whole entire reason why, in to put some retrospect to it, the whole entire reason why I stopped talking about Neven when I did was because she respectfully asked me to. She didn't come up to me and go, "Hey, shut the fuck up about what you're doing," like said other VTuber. But water under the bridge. I respected Neven because of the fact that she can stand on her own 2 feet, and her getting doxxed was not my intent at all. And am I a little bit more defensive about Neves? Absolutely. For various reasons that my community does know.
After this said VTuber went silent, you posted, quote, "Wow, so no response, great. In place of others could see, how is that going silent and causing zero drama like everyone wanted?" Which is what you claimed you were doing just hours earlier.
I was doing that publicly, and if she is trying to make it look like that, what I was trying to do with Miko is make her understand me better because she, quote unquote, used friends as a term for us earlier on in this whole entire thing. So if you want to be my friend, understand me. I'm not cutesy like you, but I sat down and listened to every little spiel that you gave about your little Miku Miku shrine. And I didn't freaking say, "Oh my god, that's a bunch of pussy shit sitting in your room."
Oh man, you
See?
saying it exactly how it
I,
is, isn't it? Okay.
yeah, I didn't do that. I fully understood who she was as a human being, and I didn't down her for that. If I would have sent more on that, if I could, if she would have sent you more, she would have sent you the part where she called me a lol cow and everything, and I was just like, okay, that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I don't know what you were trying to do with that personal spat. I was just making you understand who I am. It wasn't me being defensive, it was me explaining my personality and why I have that personality.
Right.
The conversation with her was absolutely. It felt like there, dude, the first like 4 days that this whole thing with KM happened. It felt like I was the guy that everybody laid out to just hit in the face, and I couldn't defend myself, and I got tired of it.
Yeah, at the moment me and this VTuber having another bit of a conundrum with each other as well. Little bit of context. This said VTuber was supposed to be the next interview, but
Oh, really?
but
Oh,
her
damn.
fiance canceled it today. So,
Really?
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. I'm here just to let you know, whoever you might be, the one who must not be named.
Well, you already said her name. Whoops.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that as a joke, man.
Oh, okay. You said I did WTF everyone asked me to do and went silent. Yet, the timestamps
Mm-hmm.
show sending walls of text and public private aggressive messages. Which versions are we supposed to believe with your words or receipts? So, there's context here. There was a timestamp on this, and then we compared it to the Twitter post, and they were very similar in the time they were written.
Mm-hmm. I have a problem, and it has been made aware to me that I need to start getting under control. I need to start learning what to say and what not to say. And the whole entire fiery personality that my community loves out of me is not what the VTuber space as a whole wants out of me. Very, very conflicting. This is the first time that this has ever happened to me on this scale. And as much as I did want to be private about it, I didn't want to be also dishonest to them. And that's what drove me to X, because I didn't have a Discord to talk to them anymore. I had no way to communicate with any of them except my X page. So if somebody's going to vocally tell me, shut the fuck up, I'm going to give you the bird and go right out there and not do what you say because you were an asshole about it. That's not how you approach somebody. Yet again, we're talking about that same VTuber. I don't know. Here's what I don't understand, bro. When it came down to all the people with numbers, the simple solution would have been, don't be disrespectful about it. I'm just as much a victim as everybody else. Why didn't people ask me for resources? Because I handled it on my end legally in 24 hours, and that's with working a 12-hour shift at a day job. Nobody asked me for any of that. It was just like, shut the fuck up. Like I had nothing to offer. But I don't know. I read those messages and it pissed me off, and I do need to get better at controlling myself when it goes from reading those to going to X. That is definitely something that I need to improve on. And I can take accountability for that. And I am sorry for doing that, both to my community and the people that it affected.
Commander Reaper claimed, quote, the link was supposed to be given out to people active and good in streams and not announced on Twitter. But you never once agreed to that rule. In fact, you posted it publicly yourself. At least is from what I was able to find. Why is Commander Reaper now rewriting history and pretending there was a secret agreement you broke?
Because he's trying to save his wife's Twitch career right now. He's doing backpedaling. That man literally rejected me and Star twice on improving the security of that Discord. These are not people that I've only known for 5 minutes, internet. I've known Riku, he was my 5th subscriber ever on YouTube. I've known him for the better part of 9.5, 10 years. And every time that I would plead with him that the security needed to get better, oh no, we're too small. Oh, we don't have enough people to be garnering any attention right now, man. Let's just have fun. And then all of a sudden, he gets a big, huge influx of people, and then something happens, and I'm the guy that gets the responsible end of that. When I presented 2 options for you to improve that Discord so that this doesn't happen, they were free-flowing bots in that Discord, bro. They weren't guys who were hiding. They were actively chatting with people in this Discord throughout about four different streamers in there. Me, Star, Mommy. It's that his wife is the one that got doxxed, so he's getting pissed. And he's taking that out on me in the stupidest, simplest way possible. And I'm not going to take that shit from his ass. I'm not going to. I'm not going to take that shit from you, Reaper, and I hope to God you watch this.
A lot of these are on Reaper, by the way, so just be ready for that one. Commander Reaper what?
No. Continue.
Kept
I'm sorry.
insisting, quote, "We use the readily available tools. I have no access to add external functionality." Well, you told him personally you know 3 separate IT experts who all said far stronger protections were possible. Why did Commander People refuse to implement the better security options your experts recommended?
So these 3 experts. One was Inifs,
Yeah, I know
whom I've
okay.
had permission. Yeah, Inifs. He was the first one to bring this to me and Star's attention. The second guy was my buddy at work, who is a bigger geek than me in every way, shape, and form. And then my third buddy, he looked over it, and I invited him in there temporarily, like 6 months ago. And he was the reason why I went with Star to bring the security issue up to Riku and Reaper. Third guy is a buddy of mine that works in DC in the Pentagon as cybersecurity for the FBI. And he told me that there are a lot more options on Discord that can secure your stuff better since you're on social media. That right there told me that this is a gaping asshole and it needed to be filled. But that egomaniac decided, no, this is my baby. I'm going to do with it what I want. And when shit falls over, I'm going to blame the whole entire world for it, instead of taking accountability.
All right, you made it through page 2.
Yippee! Cool.
Commander Reaper,
I feel great, dude.
Bragged the server was safe enough. Then the second it got raided, he immediately blamed you for, quote, leaving it wide open. If he was so confident in his own setup, why did he flip to victim blaming the moment his security failed?
Ego. Pure, unadulterated ego.
Okay.
That's all that he could bring to the table. That's what that man does when he messes up. He's the kind of person that thinks he's right all the time, so when a mistake happens, it's not his fault. That's who he is.
Commander Reaper wrote, quote, "You posted the link on Twitter for all to see. How the hell are we supposed to secure anything when you do that?" End quote. Yet he's the one who repeatedly guaranteed the new members, including Star, that the server was fully secure. Why did he keep making guarantees he couldn't keep once the link was public?
I think, honestly, because the guy also does have a day job too. Just like Riku has a day job. I think that their day jobs got a little bit more busy and they forgot about it and it became an afterthought. And they didn't pay attention to it until we all got together, had our roundtable moments, talked it out. The problem is that he could have avoided this if he would have just taken our advice. There were 4 popular streamers in that Discord server, at least on my level of popularity. It was me, Star, his wife, and Asher. 3 out of the 4 of us told him that the security needed to be updated. Asher wasn't a part of that conversation because he was off doing a collab stream that he had been waiting almost 3 months for. So we weren't going to interrupt that. Later, come to find out, since he had not been paying attention to the Discord server as much because his popularity had influxed just like me and Stars has, he found out about this because of Twitter. And he's basically spent the last 4 days defending me every time somebody wants to bring up my name and throw it into the mud. So, thank you, Asher. Appreciate you, buddy.
When you pointed out the server was raided because of weak settings, Commander Reaper responded with the walls of excuses, and I quote here, "None of us were security experts." Why did he accept the role of head moderator to keep bragging about security if he admits he had no idea what he was doing?
Pure stupidity. Because he could have relinquished that role at any time. He could have told us that he had a doubt, and we would have fixed the problem together, not as individuals. Now that he hasn't done that, the whole entire server fell apart by what some people who are thinking about leaving of their own accord have told me. There's barely anybody talking in it now. The server is looking to be completely demolished. It's not even going to probably exist in the next 2 weeks by what they're telling me. There are minor streamers who were at the round table with me and Star. Apparently he's got a hate video that's coming out on me eventually, and I'm not going to watch it. Or hell, I might do that and I might make some content of my own about it. Who knows? I don't know yet. But ego is what drew him to it. He didn't want to accept help. And that's a fault too. Not accepting it, dude. Not accepting help doesn't mean that you're stupid. It means that you need help with something. And there are some very, very shallow people that seem to think that asking for help is a weakness. It's not a weakness, dude. Accepting generosity is never a weakness, bro. And somehow that guy has that in his head that accepting help means that he's weak. That's not the case at all.
Are those Blu-rays behind you, Don? No, those are all games. That's a giant wall of video games. Yeah. Commander Reaper spent paragraphs cherry-picking chat logs to paint Star as the problem. Then accused both of you, quote, taking the coward's way out. And said the rest of the community now has to deal with, quote, deal with you guys as shit pal. Why is this one escalating and throwing around accusations when you already left the server to stop the drama? This was after you left, by the way.
I left the way that I did to not cause drama, as a matter of fact. I meant to leave so that the server could stay intact as much as humanly possible. I made the public announcement on my X page. I am no longer a part of KM. I told them don't cause any drama in the server. It was an even split. There was no animosity, none of that whatsoever, and I left. I didn't want to cause any more damage than what I had already been accused of causing, and I took the high road. The issue with Star is that they did not have me to blame publicly, because at that point I wasn't even talking to anybody. Literally the day that Star got pummeled, I woke up, I unplugged my phone out of my wall, I jumped in my truck, and I went to work. I did not touch X, I did not do anything with X up until the point that people were telling me that Star was getting pummeled. That again irked the fuck out of me. You don't pummel my friends because of something you blamed me for. Especially when she's bringing common sense to your eardrum and you refuse to listen. That is you being an egomaniac. That is not her being wrong. As for how I reacted to that, I will be fierce in defending my friends, no matter what. I don't care if you're a third-party VTuber. I don't care if you have 1 million followers. I do not care. My friends are my friends, and they show me absolute loyalty, so I will do the same for them. And that is the message that I want to send on to the rest of the VTubing community. Start having some fucking backbone and loyalty. You won't have this shit happening everywhere. Your communities will be fine. We don't need to be a freaking drama clause for the rest of social media to laugh at us anymore. It's the most irritating part of being a VTuber, man. You're the laughing stock of social media.
After everything blew up, Commander Reaper still kept poking you at DMs with passive-aggressive essays. You told him multiple times to leave Star alone and move on, yet he refused. At this point, does his refusal to drop it make him the one keeping the drama alive?
Yes.
Okay.
Him and Imp both. They are still dragging this out. I did what I did out of anger. They're doing what they're doing out of sheer stupidity and clout baiting. And there's a difference. They're trying to milk it for what the fuck they can. And they're losing terribly.
You posted, quote, "Hear that, Reaper? I'm going full bore. I'm going to make you internet ribbons after this is over, you two-faced little..." Well, I'm not going to curse on stream, but the C word.
Yes. Yes.
Right after Commander Reaper started publicly announcing he was going to drop a massive expose on you, why did Commander Reaper think it was okay to threaten you with a public call-out first, then play victim when you warned him to defend himself? Yeah.
He's... You know what a worm is?
Yeah.
Worm digs around in the dirt. That's what Reaper's doing. He's coming up for air and then going back down in the dirt to hide in his little hole. He can make whatever the hell he wants about me. I don't care about other people's opinions that hate me. I really don't. You are an afterthought. I really don't care about you. At the end of the day, when I push stop on my stream, I don't care about you. The only thing I care about when I rest my head on my pillow is my community. The one that I've put together, the one that I've built, the one that I've helped support them whenever they've needed me to. I'm not like those other VTubers that don't answer personal calls from my own audience. Okay? I do not treat them like they are less than me, and that is another issue in the VTuber community that needs to be addressed. I care about them. I don't care about Reaper. I really don't. He can say whatever he wants about me. I'm not going to give two flying shits. Sorry that I'm cursing so much, dude, on your stream, by the way. God.
Nah, that's fine. I don't curse myself, personally, but it's okay. Just causes a little bit of editing later, that's all. Commander Reaper wrote a calm-sounding public post, quote, "Good evening, Starcat and community. This will be longer set of posts. We will see if I can post everything prior to the deletion of my blocking or not, conforming to the narrative of this post." Quote, "Why did you premeditate a plan to drop a wall of text attack thread while farming it like he was the one responsible, just sharing facts?"
Really? The most... Okay, you want to know what makes Star special? Everybody? Star is one of the most innocent human beings on this planet. If you throw that she has been throwing shade around to try and gain clout, that is one of the biggest lies you could ever put on the internet. The woman doesn't have the personality to do that. She's not a vengeful, spiteful person in the slightest. That's why I don't believe it. I did not believe a word that he said the moment he put that post out, because I know her for who she is, because I've had more private conversations with her than he has. He wasn't one of the mainline streamers in the Discord. He was a background player. He didn't even talk with us a lot, actually, throughout, the whole entire time we had the Discord.
And yet you're saying he's taking front and center, even though he hasn't spent a lot of time on the Discord?
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't talked to a lot of the communities out there, dude. He's been a background player. The most stream time he gets is when he's with his wife. That's
Okay.
literally it. He doesn't have his own platform, nothing.
You said, quote, here you go, internet, the king and only security. Right after Commander Reaper spent years bragging how he was the ultimate Discord security expert. At least that's what we've seen. Why does he get called himself the, quote, king of security for years, and then the second half of the server falls immediately and blames everyone but himself? And that's what I was able to find.
Because, yeah, I know what post you're talking about, Don. That's another one that pissed me off. Like I said, Reaper's whole problem is ego. The guy refuses to take an L even though he's literally has one in his hands right now. He did not handle this well at all. What he's trying to do right now is use his ego to save his wife's streaming platform, but it has absolutely nothing to do with her. Yet again, out of everything that's gone on with this, everybody's shifting blame somewhere else instead of taking accountability for it. When it comes to the core members of that Discord, they don't want to acknowledge their fuck ups. I acknowledged my fuck up to the whole entire Discord when I left. I literally did. I said, this is my fault. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then I left. Nobody else wanted to be like that in the Discord. The moment that I left, literally Star is giving me messages in Discord saying, hey, guess what? They are blasting you for just simply leaving. They're calling you a coward, the P word, all of it. And I'm just like, okay, so what? Do I sat there for about 30 minutes to an hour because it was my day off. And I just got done working out. And I sat there for 30 minutes to an hour looking at that, what she sent me. And I was just like, I have two options. Either I can be the biggest coward on the planet and I could hide when everybody's telling me to shut up. Or I could do things my way, not be a coward, teach these people how not to be a coward, and go with that. So I went with that. I wanted to teach these people something, which was stand up for yourself. Stand up, dude. Stand your hallowed ground, man. If you are doing something that is morally right and you did it the morally right way, don't let somebody push you around because of the fact that they want to. That makes them the guy that you need to get in his face and tell him to be quiet. That's the guy who really needs to shut up. I was the last one that needed to shut up in this whole entire situation, yet everybody was telling me to. And that's his problem. Guy just wouldn't shut up. And he wouldn't take accountability.
Two things. One says, wake up, Dawn. Now, I'm a bit sick. I'm not actually falling asleep or anything. It's just I don't feel great. That's all. And second, the redeems do not work right now. Please do not redeem the redeems at the moment. Okay. So you finished page 3. You're on page 4. In the exact
there we go.
DMs, Commander Reaper told you, quote, leave Star alone. She did nothing wrong. Or was this you telling him? Did I have this backwards?
That was me telling him.
Leave Star alone. She did nothing wrong. Then wrote Mass Superiors accusing Star of cherry picking things to make herself look like a villain and posting stuff to tiermonger of a breach. How is he telling you to leave? How are you telling her to leave you alone while simultaneously dragging her harder than anyone else? So you told her to leave you alone. I mean, you told him to leave her alone, yet he continued to drag her through the mud.
Well, I can't physically do anything to tell him to shut up, but I can let him know that there's somebody that does not like him for it. Because I promise you, if we ever meet face to face and he gets to actually see my face when I'm pissed, he's going to wet his little panties like the little girl that he is because I am not one to screw with, and I don't let my friends get screwed with. That is me. I will stand up in your face no matter what kind of bully you are. I've stood up in front of felons, in front of terrorists. I'm not afraid of standing up in front of a dude who does a stupid day job and at the same time think that he's a king expert at Discord security. Definitely not going to be afraid of that guy. Not.
Right. I'm sure Mika will probably head over there with you to defend Star.
Oh, I have a good feeling that she already has, which is why Reaper shut up to after that last post he posted. I'm pretty sure that she had a lot to say to that guy.
Right. Commander Reaper said, quote, "You both took the coward's way out and ran instead of helping get through this as a community. You had already left the server to de-escalate and stop the trolls' ammo. Why is quietly walking away, quote, the cowardly, and only when you do it? But when he was rage quitting mod roles in the past, as that was fine."
Like I said, it all goes down to ego and not taking accountability.
Okay.
That dude's whole entire mantra is not taking accountability, man. Simply put, he wants to blame everybody else instead of himself. And I am not a coward for leaving the way that I did. I left taking accountability for what I did, as what I stated in that message, to everyone. On X, I made myself accountable for the things that I did wrong before I left that server. And I'm a hell of a lot more popular on X than I am on Discord.
All right. Last one on
So,
Commander Reaper. After everything, Commander Reaper still went on Twitter threatening to dump logs, quote, not to conform to a narrative. You responded by going, quote, full bore, and promising to make him internet ribbons. Why is this public expose threat presented as noble truth-telling, but your promise to counter it framed as unhinged?
the reason why it counted as unhinged on my behalf is because at that point I was supposed to be quiet, like all the other popular people around me were telling me to. That's why it looks unhinged. As for him, I told him to go with it because I've got nothing to hide. So go ahead. You guys can make all the hate videos you want. Go ahead and think that I'm unhinged. I'm not. I'm just extremely loyal, and the reason why it looks like it's unhinged behavior is because that is not common practice in the VTuber space anymore. That doesn't exist. So it looks unhinged to third-party people that are getting involved in this.
They pose a good question here. Kodiak, what was your reaction to the Dawn threatening your friend Starcat? I assume you worked it out behind the scenes with a convo like.
That was a combination of actually Star getting involved on that one. When that whole thing went down, Star sent me the message and she specifically said, and I quote, let me pull that up on my Discord messages real quick. You are still my friend. I just want you to be careful. And I said, all right, thank you. And then she's like, I'm feeling really weak today. I hope that you do okay with this interview. And I told her to get some rest.
Yeah.
That's literally how she reacted to it.
I think,
like I said, nicest woman on the planet, dude.
I think, again, the whole thing was a giant misunderstanding in the first place. You know, obviously I don't hate Star for any reason. So.
No, I already know that, Don. Yeah, I already know that.
Don, I
have no personal grudge with you, sir.
Don, I do think you were pushy. Does Kodiak agree? Well, I said I don't want to get into it too much, but the reason I was at the time is I just woke up when I sent her that message, and I woke up because I was pinged repeatedly by people because they were in a private group call with a person that the whole drama was over, and they didn't tell us why or anything. There was no explanation or anything, and it was me and a group of people that were trying to get to reach me, and they were freaking out. It was very anxiety filled time, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think I would have acted so irrationally if it was under different circumstances.
Well, I just told you how Star reacted to it, so she's not that mad at you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of the things that she said to Reaper in particular, and that's her being mean. Star is not that person that gets angry, chat. She gets disappointed,
Yeah.
and disappointment hurts worse than anger.
Okay. You publicly stated on November 18th, quote, I left these following servers to not cause any more damage. Starcat, Miko, Nani, Nines, and Mama Oko. And, quote, I made this choice to put distance between myself and KM as a whole. Why did people keep attacking you and Star after you literally removed yourself from every single shared space to end drama?
Um, because the internet is a fickle place, and that was the reaction to that tweet was really eye-opening for me. It's where that whole entire thing of friends being thrown around really hit me hard. When I started getting messages from all of those guys, out of all 5 of them that I listed, 3 of them told me to go F myself. Star was there for me 100% through it, trying to teach me something, which is what you're supposed to do as a friend. And the other one publicly acknowledged it, but told me politely to stop talking about her, which is what I did. I respected the way that one of them did that, and I will keep on respecting that because she asked me politely. She wasn't a jerk about it and did not blame me for the whole entire situation. And one of them just straight up didn't even respond to it at all, which I will take as kind of a respectful ploy. So, if you didn't say anything negative, I still respect you.
Starcat revealed the Chaotic Maverick server had a massive breach where, quote, nearly 80% of the server were exposed, including the NSFW channel. And when Riku's team planned to release a video blaming the victims who left, why is KM Circle now copying the exact same playbook, leaking private info and then making a public denouncement videos targeting people that simply walked away?
Literally, the last thing that I wrote in when they made that part of the server was, "This is a shit idea. I'm never posting here." And I left that part of the server. I literally muted it on my Discord rack here, dude.
Right.
I had never got a single notification from that freaking channel ever. I didn't want to be a fucking part of it. I thought it was pretty stupid to have to begin with. I don't agree in not safe for work content, guys. I really don't. I'm not that kind of VTuber, man. The person that came after us most about that was probably Riku, because again, Riku was under the assumption that it was my fault that this whole thing fell apart, and it wasn't. He didn't put the blame at the people from Kiwi Farms. He put the blame on me. Threw me under a freaking 5-ton bus to do it too. And I'll never ever talk to him again. Because I feel like the last 10 years of us gaming together have meant nothing. It meant nothing. I know his kids' first names. That is how long we've been gaming with each other. I know his kids. I've talked to his wife. And he threw that all away. And when he sent me that message, that's the one that hurt right there. Riku is the one that hurt. I spent a whole day when I got that message, dude. I just did not talk to anybody at work. I just went out and did my thing. As a matter of fact, actually at work, I turned my radio off for a whole entire hour. And I sat literally on a cliff outside of a gorge outside of Salt Lake City, and I stared at the city for about an hour just chain smoking cigarettes the entire time. That's how much that one hurt me.
Starcat said we're going to move to the next one.
So yeah, you're good, man.
Starcat said she, quote, advised we lock down the server and was told by another member, no. And here, her own mod proved that, quote, OPSEC is bad, it does not exist, which I believe was NF at the time. Why does the exact same group that ignored every security warning from the Mavericks pretend that they're victims when their KM server got raided?
Because it's going back to the point of victim mentality. If you think that you are a victim, you're going to treat every situation like you're a victim. You're not going to stand up for yourself. You're going to crawl on the ground. And you're going to let that situation take over your life. And you're going to let people get run over. And you're going to forget where your loyalties lie. And you're going to think emotionally. And you're not going to care about the people that you're actually putting this on.
Now,
because putting it on Star, that was my tipping point in that whole thing. That was it. That was just me being flesh mad angry, dude.
Okay. Now, Illusion and Riku are not the same person, are they?
No, they are not.
Okay.
They are two different people.
Illusion Imperium announced, quote, I am personally going to make an announcement video on X and YouTube over his actions. I am completely throwing Bear under the bus. Why is this another KM member openly bragging about making a planned hit pace video on you the second you stepped away from everyone? That's crazy to me. He just openly says
it. I didn't find out that he wanted to do that until 2 days after the server was down. Star sent me that one. Pretty much, dude, since I haven't said much about that, here's what I will say so that the internet knows it. You can go ahead and make whatever you want. I don't care. I know that it'll be nothing more than a bunch of freaking fits and lies, because that's what the last 2 weeks have been from all of you. Liars are weak sauce. And I will stand tall on what I am doing right now. That's why I didn't shy away from this interview like everybody told me to. So you can go ahead, make your video, bro. I'm waiting very patiently. I'm waiting for you to break the internet.
People told you to leave this interview?
Yes. People told me not to take this interview, Don. And I openly rejected that. Told them, no, I'm going to take the interview because I'm not a little coward. And I know for a fact that he's going to, and I told them, I know that he's going to ask me hard questions. And he's going to ask me emotional questions. Because he knows when he asks these questions, I've been friends with these people for a hell of a lot longer than Star has. So it's going to hurt me more, but I don't care. I'm not going to run away from a bunch of questions because somebody's worried about social reputation and clout and all of that bullshit. Clout does not make you human. Emotion does. And I think that we have gotten that really, 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 really confused in this sphere. Really have.
Illusion wrote, quote, "That's those that wish to side with Kilo. I will not be interacting with you outside of Discord. Why is KM Camp issuing a loyalty ultimatums and threatening to cut off people simply for refusing to join a public smear campaign against you?"
Because they're afraid of me. Because they know exactly what I'll do, and that I'll stand my ground and I won't move. You could send a hurling truck at me. If I am in front of one of my friends, I will definitely take that truck for them. And that is called true friendship. Something they obviously know nothing about.
All right, well, you've made it halfway through the interview. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great, bro. I'm glad that you're giving me these blunt questions, man. I love this.
I mean, you did about a week ago. You did ask to, say
I
anything.
know. Yeah, I did. And you're bringing me what I want, bud.
Starcat said she was asked to, quote, get on board with the attack video, or they would include her in it. That's kind of crazy, actually. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So she left. Illusion is now doing the identical thing, demanding public denounces or get targeted. Why has, quote, leave or be publicly executed on video become the official KM retention policy?
Pure pressure.
Okay.
The last 6 months of that Discord server have been a bliss for them. They've not seen that much traffic in that Discord server before. So all of a sudden, when something's threatening to lose that, you go to desperate measures. Their desperate measures is publicly shaming two people on the internet that got nothing to hide. So since their whole entire theory is since we have nothing to hide, the way that we hurt them is make people know honestly who they are. I know it's a screwed up theory, but it's the best theory that I can come up with for a crap ton of stupid. So I don't think like they do, man. They're thinking selfish. I'm thinking selfless. That's the difference between me and them, and definitely between them and Star. You wanting to shit all over Star, you're a fucking evil person.
Yeah,
And I'll say that with my chest.
I would agree with that.
If you want to go after Star for anything, what has that woman done? Come on, think about that. Dig deep down into your conscience, all you KM people, and think of one thing that woman has done to be publicly shamed. Nothing. She's been nice to all of you. She shared everything she had with you. Everything. And your first default is to humiliate
Throw her under the
her.
bus.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I sat on that ridgeline and smoked those cigarettes, dude, like I did, man. It wasn't just me that I was doing that for. It was for Star too. And by the way, I'm sorry, chat, that I broke my 6-month streak of not smoking cigarettes. Okay, I'm sorry. Might as well admit to that too.
Starcat ended with, quote, my community knowing they may have been impacted is more important than covering up for Riku and the Mavericks. Illusion instead chose covering KM leadership and over warning people if their data might be out there. Why are you the only one getting called toxic when you're the one who actually believes in transparency instead of ass covering?
Because weak men make excuses. Strong men stand on their morals. They have no morals. If you're willing to go to that form of length against Star, then your moral compass is so effed up. I wonder how you make it out to your truck in your driveway, Riku. I wonder how you get down your porch steps, man. If you're allowing one of the members of KM to do what they are doing to Star, that's you being a horrible leader, bro. That woman does not deserve it at all. Not at all. You can come after me all you want. But her, no, I will be unflinching in that one. No, it's cowardly, Don. It's cowardice. If you blame somebody else for your own mistakes, you're a coward.
Yeah, I would completely understand.
Hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people know, like today with Star, and even every message that I wrote on Twitter in regards to her still put her in a good light, or at least I attempted to.
You can't.
That said,
Like I
Dawn did bully
said,
Star. I didn't. I did not bully Star. That's not true.
yeah,
The whole you don't know
yes.
the whole story.
If okay, if any of you are in chat and you believe that Don bullied Star, shame on you. He did not bully her. That no, because she would be telling me right now not to be doing this, and she didn't. Okay, don't believe that BS. Bunch of crap. At least that's as far as the little lucky bleeding thing has gotten to me. But
The Dawn was in a high stress situation. I mean, you got to remember, even now, I've been sick. Been sick this whole time. So someone else is telling her to say these things. I don't want to answer that question. I don't think Dawn bullied her. I think Dawn panicked. Kodiak, you really learned not to take the bait. It it was a bit of a panic. You are correct. So we're moving on to the next topic here.
you're right,
Um,
by the way. I do need to stop taking the bait. You're
okay,
right.
my apologies. I think we have one more. Both the Mavericks breach and the KM Fallout ended the exact same way. Leadership ignores security, server gets raided, and then make a YouTube/X hit piece video blaming the people who left. At this point, this stopped being coincidence and start looking like the exact same group running the exact same extortion racket under different names. Is that true?
I can't tell you with 100% certainty if they learned it from somewhere else or not. I can't give that answer to you. But what I can tell you is that it is starting to become meta, isn't it? Everybody. A big, huge company or a big Discord or something moderate, it gets screwed up, and then the leadership blames everybody else below. If you head a Discord server, that is your responsibility, bro. If you want to be the leader of that, then you take charge of it. And if there is a day where you can't take charge of it, pass it to somebody else. That is where these guys are failing. They're not realizing when their time is up, and they're treating it like they're the CEO of a company, being a greedy little bastard, and it all falls apart.
That's exactly what happens. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just today, I mean, while everyone's here, uh, you know, Miko, her two mods, her fiance, and Starcat left my server. And, I'm not upset about it. I understand. I get it. You
Yep.
know, that's what happens. And they have to do the same sort of thing to just get away from, the drama of everything. Sometimes you just have to, realize what's going on and let things go.
Yeah, but there's also an opposite to that one, too. Too many people in this space have also used the block and mute buttons as parachutes, too. So
Yeah.
you can't really hide behind a block button, Don, either.
Well,
What you're doing by blocking somebody is you're disconnecting from half of the conversation because you don't want to hear it.
so
Even though it could be the best voice of reason ever in the world, you're still going to just block what they're saying out of just being purely mad at them being a different opinion than you.
now on Twitter, I have never or on Discord. I've never blocked anyone. No, that's not true. Not on Discord, but on Twitter. I've never blocked anyone, nor will I ever block anyone on Twitter. I refuse to do so because I think that's, like you said, I mean, what are they going to do? Throw words at you? Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Those really hurt me, guys. Really. I will say this, though, and I will admit this to all of my community members in here. I have blocked Reaper, and I have blocked Riku. I have not blocked anybody else. Those were the first 2 blocks I have ever done while being on X, period. I have not blocked anybody else but those 2. I will block Riku for the fact that he bluntly admitted that he was going to put this whole shit on me. And I did not take that well, and I did not respond to that well. Because I literally helped him build that. Imp wasn't there. Mommy wasn't there. Reaper wasn't there. I was, though. I have every right to be mad at him for saying what he said. Okay, yeah, you gotta kind of block out. Yeah, you kind of gotta do that. I gotta learn how to do that, guys. Remember, this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't realize that social media was this complex of a organism, man. I thought it was just people talking to each other, and I was blissfully ignorant. And now I know. And I learned it the hard way. And you know what makes you learn things, chat? Pain. Pain and suffering makes you remember things.
All right, we're moving on to personal reflections and growth. You told Miko the core principle behind everything you do is, quote, courage, personal courage, and that, quote, moderation is for cowards. Do you still stand by that statement when it's repeatedly?
Yes, I do. 100%. 100%, Don.
Okay. To finish the question is when it repeats the ends with your friends getting doxxed and targeted.
Yes, I will still stand by it no matter what.
Okay.
If my community ever again, if 100 members of my community ever get doxxed like that again, I will not sit there and be silent. And that is the thing that everybody around me seemed to not understand about me.
Right.
I was not. No. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
No, I just think that's honestly pretty admirable of you because, you know, most people when they get doxxed, they sit and wait for it to be over and don't say anything or do anything. They don't really put any pushback. So it's a good way to see a different perspective on it.
After, literally the day after, I called my guy at the NSA. I started all of the legal paperwork on all of these guys. Got the FBI involved. Got local law enforcement involved. Informed my personal attorney. After I did all that, I came home. I literally redid my kit for home defense. Made sure that my shotgun was ready and that I had my home defense pistol ready. I can get in my kit in like 2 seconds because I've gotten in and out of that thing so many damn times. It's easy for me. I've got nothing to fear from these people. And you know what I also did? I also looked up the statistics behind how many live streamers actually have something physical happen to them. It's like 3.5% of every threat made on the internet actually becomes reality. 3.5%. That's what the FBI documents. That's coming from my buddy in DC.
Right.
3.5%. Why would I be afraid of the 3.5% that want to silence me? No. Sorry, that's not going to happen. Not when you involve my community the way that you did, buddy. Nope. I won't do that.
You wrote, I stood up for my friend, a guy who was 19 years old, and, quote, being afraid of them gives you them power. At what point does standing up across the line into actively harming the living friends who are begging you to stop?
That is such a great question. It becomes a priority when you fail. There's two different things that the mind does when it faces violence. Okay? It's called flight or fight. Okay? Most people, they run. They do. They cower up in themselves, they go defensive. I don't do that. It's when you fail on the offensive part of that it becomes a problem. So let's say that Star, and we're going to use a hypothetical, okay? Let's say that somebody does come after me or come after Star. Well, one, Star's got a guy behind her that held the same kind of rank as I did. He's got as many professionalism points as I do. He wore the same kind of uniform. He knows how to defend himself. And Lord help you, and I mean this, Lord help you if you do anything to damage the thing that he loves most, which is that woman right there. I'm not going up there to help him find you. I'm going up there to hold him back from destroying your world. And they don't recognize that. All the people around me don't. You don't take something from a military member that they love so deeply and so passionately that they were willing to go to a third world hellhole to keep safe. You don't do that. And thank God it didn't happen because I forewarned my family that I was getting into this line of business. If that were ever to happen to my adopted family, you guys would just see me vanish from the internet. You would see everything shut down immediately. I'd be gone, and you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to find that person. And you better hope to God that you can hide from me.
Playful says, I just want to point out that we have the Don interviewing a dude. Hell yeah, brother. Actually, I mean, I interviewed Red Miku. Nazi Miku, he's a dude.
Yeah. I saw that one, actually, yeah.
You say you're, quote, hot-headed when it comes to them, and admit your, quote, reaction gives them content. You're too, F-word, thick, headed to see that. Looking at these messages now, do you recognize that your own hot-headed reactions are exactly what keeps giving trolls content?
Yes and no. Yes on the fact for all of the third parties involved, but no on me, because I don't care what they make about me. When it comes to the people around me, like Star, then yes, I will care. And yes, I will apologize to her for involving her in this. And I will apologize to all the people that I did involve in this, that were personally affected by it. That would be even Nor, Psychro, Elias. Elias is another big one. I'm sorry that did happen to all of them, and I do apologize to all of you guys who actually put effort into that server. And I'm sorry that my hot-headedness drew unwanted attention to you if it did. I apologize.
You keep insisting, quote, there is no winning with everyone. None. Is that the mindset for the reason you refuse to ever back down? When multiple people tell you the current path is hurting?
Yes, it's both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can elaborate or we can continue.
Can you continue?
You've repeatedly said, quote, moderation is for cowards, and, quote, courage is my core principle. Looking back at every friendship and community that's blown up around you, do you still believe refusing to moderate yourself in true courage, or just controlled self-destruction?
I think that it's true courage.
Okay.
Because there's no way up from here except courage. It's become mainstream meta to be a coward about it. It is literally the meta. It is the default option that all of these people go to. And where does it get them? Miku is literally 4 times deep into this and nothing has changed for her. The thing that people fail to realize about that, these big old VTubers, I'm sure that they get threatened every time. They still keep doing what they're doing. The only difference between me and those people is that I will call you out for it. I will call you out for being an evil little, POS, dude. I will. I don't have a problem with it. Stood up to bigger evils than you. I literally was told the lead of the Kiwi Farms little rap sheet, dude, that he has on planet Earth. I am definitely not afraid of you, bro. Definitely not.
Dawn, you need to lock in. Well, look, if you saw the Twitter, it's been a very stressful and very long day as well. I'm trying my best here. I am. We have 3 pages
guys,
left.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. I even got in some arguments with Miko, and I didn't want that at all.
Oh, that will stretch your brain, definitely, bro.
You getting through it? Thank you. When multiple people you care about have begged you to stop engaging, but it keeps getting them hurt, why does the immediate reaction still default longer walls of text on public posts instead of silence?
Because you have to stand by the fundamentals. You have to stand by the fundamentals of who you are. You cannot be your truest self if you're faking to be something you're not. And I'm sorry, I won't fake my way through this business. I effing won't. I started doing social media because I saw a big problem with social media. Social media is filled with a bunch of cowards that do a whole bunch of heinously stupid garbage to gain clout and popularity. You have that even going back to when Logan Paul was in Japan and he went into, the Self-End forest and made a mockery of every American on the planet by doing what he did. And he's not sorry for it at all. As a matter of fact, actually, his fake apology, which if you were a normal human being, you could see through it as a bunch of BS. And yet he's like the 3rd most famous person on YouTube. It's asinine, man. All of these little cowardly people are getting all the attention. Yet every single time that somebody does something brave in this world, it gets covered up. Or it doesn't get talked about. You got people that die every day for somebody else. And those people aren't mentioned enough. That's the problem that I see. That is why I will still stick to the fundamental core of who I am. Because there's a difference between the rest of everybody else and me. I've actually seen people die. And I've seen them die in some of the most brutal ways humanly possible that one man can do to another man. And that is my reality. You're welcome to jump into the pool. It's full of sharks. I'm not telling anybody not to join up. But stop being cowards in the world. Stop. It's not doing the world any good. You need to reacquire common sense. You need to man up. That's what the world needs to do.
You've left servers.
And that's why I won't. Nope. I'm sorry.
You've
Go
left
ahead, Don.
servers and cut contact to, quote, protect people. Yet within hours, you're back posting about the same topic. At what point does protecting them, quote unquote, actually require you to stay gone instead of using your platform for fire burning?
That is when that is the thing that I learned, and I learned it too late about this game. What I should have done is not gone after the randomness of everything, and I should not have gone after the people that didn't matter about this whole entire situation, and I should have thought it through more. Instead, I knee jerk reacted to a whole bunch of different directions. And that is exactly what I learned from this whole thing, where I need to direct it better.
You need to focus on one thing.
Yes. Not everything at once.
You often say, quote, there is no winning with everyone. Is that a belief the reason you've stopped trying to de-escalate and now trying to treat every criticism as an attack that must be crushed?
If you don't crush it where it sits, it expands. That's what fire does. Fire feeds on oxygen, though. That's what people need to remember. Fire does feed on oxygen, guys. So the more you put oxygen out there, the more it's going to spread. Which is why I go back to the previous question. If you're going to stand up and try to do the right thing, stand up for the right people, don't you're human. Don't try and stand up for everybody at once. You won't succeed. And that's the lesson that I learned. When it comes down to me fire burning everything, it was honestly a knee-jerk reaction. Yet again. I've got no excuse for that one at all. That's on me.
Splicer made a good point here. You can use the Kodiak Chibi in both Kick and Rumble. If you want to spam your Kodiaks, you can get a little Kodiak.
I love that, dude, by the way. That was a great touch, Don. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone that gets an interview gets a little Chibi.
Yay! I'm glad I got one, Bo.
You admitted that you're hot-headed when it comes to them. How many more people have to be harassed by that temper before it becomes something you actively work on instead of wearing it as a badge? So yeah, what would make you, change your perspective?
If you bring me a calm and reasonable argument or a debate, do not bring me. You ever hear the term iron sharpens iron?
I have
You
not
bring
heard
iron. Okay, when you hit two things iron together, they get stronger. Okay?
Right.
If you come at me with aggression, I'm going to come back at you with it. If you come to me in a calm and reasonable manner and not tell me to F myself and all kinds of other stuff, you will get a person who will listen to you. I am not past having a reasonable debate with somebody about anything. I'm not, because I'm human. I bleed like everybody else, guys. As much as everybody likes to think that I'm this emotionless little clown that walks around in the VTubing space, I'm not.
I mean, KF
I'm really not.
believes that.
Yeah, well, they can have their own opinion of me.
Okay. When someone privately asks you to stop talking about them because it is engaging them, what has it been your consent to respond in essays blaming them instead of a single word, okay? I think you know who I'm referring to when that DM was sent.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, it's a lesson that I learned. I should not have done that. I don't know the game fully yet, guys. I don't. And I won't walk around with enough ego to know that if you're not waking up every day and learning something, you're being a poor human. You are really undervaluing that thing that God gave you, which is a brain. And that day that I got that DM is when I learned that lesson. And yes, said Vtuber did teach me something amongst those DMs that she sent me. If she is still on that whole entire bandwagon of thinking that she didn't teach me anything from it.
You keep telling people, quote, come after me, leave her alone. Yet the moment someone does come after you, you drag the original situation back into the spotlight. How is that protecting the original person?
Because I can take the weight of it better. If you're going to bring up the original situation to somebody else, bring it to me. Don't bring it to them. They don't deserve it. I'm the guy that this all landed on. I can take that weight. Taken worse weight before. I've taken bigger emotional worries than this whole thing. That's one of the various problems too. Everybody's locked in their own bubble and they haven't seen worse than being doxxed. That's kind of what makes me unafraid too of all of this, is that I've seen worse than getting doxxed.
Let's see. You keep telling people, quote, nope. Okay. You framed walking away as the respectable move, but you almost always follow it with a public statement. Why is total silence so difficult for you?
Because I want to be absolutely honest. I don't know, I have a pull to let people know everything. What hits it different here is that I did not have... If it would have been just me that got doxxed, like I said, there would have been a lot more silence out of me. But since it was a crap ton of people, I just couldn't stay quiet when a crap ton of people were being shamed in the same way as me. Yeah. That's why I couldn't stay quiet. There were 100 people that sent me messages that day alone, and they all had to do with KM, Don.
When the patter
it wasn't just like, normal chatters either. It was people who were saying that they were motivated by all of us to start their own journey in this space. And those are the messages that hit most. And then everybody kept on telling me, well, don't look at your DMs. There's people literally asking me for emotional support there. I can't ignore that. Are you crazy? I couldn't ignore that. I can't ignore 100 different pleas for help. Everybody acts like that's such an easy thing to do. For me, that's not. It's not an easy thing for me to do. I can't just turn that off.
When the pattern is drama, you engage, Frank gets hurt, you leave, you post about it, and then the cycle repeats, who is exactly responsible for breaking that loop?
I am.
Yeah.
And that's as simple an answer as you're going to get.
You've said you refuse to let fear control you. What is refusing to ever back down when it clearly puts others in their own way, in harm's way, do you feel like it's truly bravery, or do you have a pride wearing mask?
Well, no, I do not have a pride wearing mask because what these people were threatening was actual violence. Like I said before, if you threaten physical violence against somebody, no, I'm not going to sit there and be quiet. I'm not. Now, if this hurts you in a way to where words hurt you, no, nah, I'm not. I would have stayed absolutely quiet if you would have said, "Hey, it's just your words that are hurting me, buddy. I think you need to be quiet." I would have been like, "Dude, words don't hurt. I can name off a million things that can hurt you worse than me saying the F bomb or the B word right now."
People close to you have described your reactions as feeding the trolls and giving them what they want. Do you ever pause and ask yourself, is the trolls might be right about one thing?
Yes, they are. Because I underestimated the value that the distance that the internet gives. These people could be halfway around the world, they could be in another state. I guarantee you this, if you saw me walking around, you would not come up to me and do what you did to me. You don't have the big enough cojones to do that to me in person. You just don't. Because I know what it takes in the state that I live in. If you come up to me and make something threatening like that, the law permits me to actually defend myself, which is why I live where I live.
You've lost count of how many times you've been told, quote, you need to have the last word is the problem. Why does having the last word still feel more important than the collateral damage?
They don't feel more important than collateral damage, but losing to evil people also sucks. It's a win-loss scenario, Don. As much as you don't want collateral damage,
Right.
collateral damage happens in every single instance, whether it be on the internet or in IRL, it's going to happen anyway. Which is why I tell people, yet again, courage, not fear. Fear escalates the fact that it spreads. Courage stops it where it is because that person knows that they can't screw with you. Does anybody realize around here that the moment that I stood up for myself, nobody came after me personally? They just started coming off of everybody around me. And I also was going around talking about other people more than myself. No, nobody noticed that throughout this whole entire situation. Every one of these third-party tubers did not realize that about me. The moment that I stood up to them, they stopped coming after me. They started making you guys afraid. Your fear is not my personal problem. And if that's the collateral damage that you're speaking of, I'm sorry, but man the hell up. You're in a public space. If you're not expecting feedback that's negative while you're in social media, then you should not be here.
Exactly. I agree. I feel the same way about people with emote chats, where it's just emotes. If you don't want to hear what they have to say, why bother having a chat at all?
Yeah, I agree with you there. The whole entire point of this social media game is to talk to people, whether it's good or bad. And if you can't take the bad, yeah, dude, you're in the wrong game, guy.
You've watched quieter people weather this exact same harassment without tuning it into a month-long war. What do you think they're doing differently, and is that one still you wait, I need to read this again. You've watched quieter
You're
people
good, Don.
weather the exact same harassment without training. It into months-long war. What did you think they were doing differently that you still refuse to try?
Because the difference is that silence is the golden rule here, but it's not the golden rule in IRL, guys. As much as you guys really want to live on the internet, man, you can't live on the internet. You have to go out there and you have to make money. You have to have a family. You have to pay your bills. You have to survive somehow. Okay, the internet is a once in a lifetime freaking opportunity, and it's good to be entertained by the internet, yes. But freaking out and going to violence because of something that somebody says, that's never the right answer. Never. No, 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 no. And I think that we've gotten way too comfortable with that because the moment that something bad happens, everybody gets quiet, and then that stuff festers more. It doesn't help you to be quiet just as much as it doesn't help me to be loud. The only difference is that I'm proud of myself at the end of it while you're still being a scared little person watching these people walk all over you. Right. The one VTuber who will not be named is a good example of that. She's faced this 4 times and she's still afraid of it. 4! I mean, you've done the same thing 3 times. That's literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, yet you're not getting one. These doxers haven't bothered me one iota since I stood up for myself. No DMs, no nothing.
I mean, that's the same for me.
Yeah.
I haven't got, like, messages about the docs.
They're in my Twitter, my X threads, yeah. But my community picks up the pieces of that by themselves. They clean that crap up. I don't even have to respond because by the time that they respond in X, there's already 3 people telling them, "Hey, dude, you're kind of dumb for being in this thread, man, with that opinion. We're not going to sit here and say you shouldn't have that opinion, but that's kind of dumb, especially with this situation." A whole bunch of my community members were doing that throughout my threads, man. The whole entire time on X. Which is why I give Psychro a big, huge freaking high five. Yeah, I see you, little bro. You're in that chat. I see you.
Yeah. If tomorrow every single person you've ever defended turned around and said, quote, Kodiak, your protection is hurting us more than helping, would you finally change? Would you double down and call them all cowards too?
I would double down. I would double down in a heartbeat. Because like I said, what you guys are doing is the definition of insanity. You're giving them more power than you think that you are. Your silence is not as golden as you think it is. It's a whole entire group of people that do not understand how evil people act. In that whole entire DM feed that Miko gave me, she was making it think that I was thinking this was some sort of freaking war in some third world country. No, it's not. I know that it's not. I'm not psychotic. I'm definitely not a locale. And I'm definitely don't have my head on a swivel 360 degrees 24/7 either. I walk around the world normally like the rest of you all do. The only difference is that I see 90% more sunlight than most of you do. That's the difference. I interact with more IRL people in a given week than I could ever on the internet. And that's where my perspective comes from. It doesn't come from being solely on the internet 24/7. Even though I post a lot, yes, that's true. I do post a lot, but I also have interactions that last way longer outside of X and the VTuber space.
All right. Moving on to the next topic, drama and support. You announced in the KM server, quote, my FBI guy got back to me. Be safe, be more secure. and then vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Who
I
is
did.
what? What specific information did he give you, and why has no one ever heard you mention him again? So yeah, so how do you know he was protecting everybody? Like, what do you can you explain that a little bit further?
Wait, are you asking how the FBI guy that I have found the dude who originally doxed the server? Is that
No,
who you're asking about?
no, I'm asking how can you say that it's secure now? Like, what evidence to say that you're sure of this?
Oh, I am I am only going to be sure about my personal Discord server that is being built. I should have said that in that X thread more clearly. I have my background people working on my Discord to make it secure. And I know these people, well, I know one of them personally and professionally from a past career, and the other one has helped me through this last 2 weeks and has been a good friend to me throughout this whole entire last 6 months. And he has tried twice to help the Chaotic Maverick server, and he was rejected twice. And that's why I trust him. I trust him because he was rejected by those idiots.
Hours later, you told Miko, quote, I left Star's server to protect her, not to do any more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is it? Were you running from an active FBI level threat, or were you rage quitting and then refraining it as noble sacrifice? If it's neither, say neither.
I literally left all of those servers after my NSA guy and FBI guy got back to me.
Because, what? Did they say they were unsafe?
They said that the servers that they had gotten into had so many bot holes in them that you couldn't find them credible anymore. Put it this way, the guy who heads the Kiwi Farms thing, he had 8 different bots in KM's server that he was cycling through every single day,
Yeah, I'm not
talking to
surprised.
4 different content creators. That thread on Kiwi Farms includes 4 other guys. So if the top guy has 8, you can expect that the other 4 people have about 3 to 4. And that's being optimistic. It could be worse, it could be less.
You claim I went silent and caused zero drama like everyone said. Everyone wanted, my bad. Yet someday you're sending Miko essays and posts of quote, wow, no response, great. How do you reconcile with the two claims?
The reason why I said that to who I said it to was because of oh fuck me. I'm trying to say this in a delicate way as possible. Everybody told me to be quiet, so I was quiet. And then when Star started getting burned, everybody told me that I needed to stop being silent and defend her. I was asking that particular person that feed comes from, why are you going from telling me to be quiet to being the loudest person in the room? You wanted my silence and I gave it to you. I literally made one post that day. That was it.
So you're saying you find it hypocritical?
Yes, I find it massively hypocritical that at one moment everybody told me to be absolutely quiet. And then not even 10 hours later, everybody's like, hey, you need to go defend Star loudly. It made absolutely no sense to me. But I did it because it was Star. If you would sub out anybody else who I named on that list, except for Star, I would have not even opened my mouth. But it's because of the fact that Star is a personal friend of mine. You made it personal at that point. Which is why I disregarded the whole entire conversation with Miku to begin with.
You consistently offered yourself as the sole target whenever someone you care about is under fire. What keeps you willing to take all the heat, even when others tell you to step back?
I've done worse. I have been through worse. I've literally walked through a school in a town called Ashenkay that's been on fire. There is a picture of me stopping that walk on X, as a matter of fact. When you see women and children burning alive, you can do anything after that point. And that includes a whole bunch of words that a bunch of trolls want to come up with on the internet.
When friends have been doxxed or... Are you ready for the next one? When your friends have
Yeah, I
been
was about to
doxxed
say that's it.
or blacklisted, you've always been the first person to speak up publicly for their defense, which is pretty admirable, by the way. How do you decide that protecting them is worth your personal cost?
It's all based on their personality. If you're a halfway decent human being, and it's very, very easy to tell. In grand total of dealing with evil people, I have 12 years of experience. I have dealt with evil people domestically, and I've dealt with people abroad. It's very, very easy for me to judge good from evil by simply asking you certain questions. And if I've asked those questions and gotten the answer that I've wanted, then yes, I will defend you. If I know that you are a good person by the moral standards that I've set for myself, then I will defend you. And I don't care about your popularity, and I don't care about mine.
That's a good answer, actually. People have watched you leave communities you helped build just to shield others from fallout. What goes through your mind in the moment you hit leave server for their sake, for others' sake?
It was that list. Certain of them were much easier to leave, but I will give credit to two people that it took me actually a hot minute of staring at my PC screen to leave. As much as you do not like me, Miko, I have a lot of respect for you. And I have a lot of respect for the ground game that you play. Because you play the game the way that it's meant to be played. Regardless of the fact that I thought it was cowardly in how you reacted, you are still a halfway decent person at the end of the day. And outside of Star, that is the most talks that I've had to with a person when it came to anybody that has helped me out in this game. It was kind of hard to do that because you were the first person to stand up for me when I openly admitted to the world that I do see a psychologist for my stuff, for the issues that I have. The moment that I wanted to leave that server, that was the first thing that I thought about. Which is why I tried to stand up for you. I did not mean to harm you. The second one that it was incredibly hard to leave was Stars. That one, I'm not gonna lie, I actually shed a tear on that one. That one kind of hurt.
As of today, I was banned from both servers. Too. Mm-hmm. But I do feel bad about it, to be honest. I think it was unnecessary and unwarranted. But I think sometimes little things like this may be for the best.
In the end, that's how I looked at it too, buddy.
You turned, quote, come after me instead, into the signature line. Where did this instinct first come from, and why does it feel like it is an honorable option?
The the reason why the military was a good fit for me after high school, instead of doing what every other little 2008 high schooler was doing when I graduated, which was going to college, is because throughout my high school time, I had a really, really bad nagging habit of standing up to the football team. In particular, there was an incident in middle school having to do with a troubled kid. He brought a disassembled 22 long rifle and a whole bunch of 22 caliber bullets to school. I took said bullets from him and I turned them into my homeroom teacher. And I covered for him. I said that they weren't his because if you knew this kid the way that I knew him, you would defend him too. He had just as bad a parental life as I did back then. He had nobody motivating him. He had nobody teaching him except the people at that school. He was constantly bullied, constantly harassed. He was that kid that was like me, liked watching DBZ on Toonami and playing, StarCraft on his weekends. And he got really angry and got tired of the football team. And he wanted to do something very, very soul-crushing to make himself feel better. And I got labeled for the rest of the time I was in high school as a pariah because I stood up for him. And I lied to a bunch of cops to protect him. The whole entire reason why I stand up for good people in this world is because good people don't get looked at until something bad happens to them. And that's where I get that from. I get that from that little incident in the 7th grade when I did that. And those kids that graduated from that school, every single one of them that was a part of the football and cheerleading team, you should be thanking your lucky stars that I goddamn existed in that day.
That's actually
Because
really
he was
amazing.
planning on there's a judicially closed file on it in Springboro. You can look it up. But that's where I got it from. That's where I learned that good people get shit on by bad people no matter what. And sometimes you have to put yourself on the line to make sure that good people survive. The unfortunate part of that story is that kid in particular, he he offed himself 5 years ago. He got into a very big problem with drugs and alcohol, and he ended. And that's all I'm going to say about that one. But that's where I get it from. I get it from that incident when I was in 7th grade.
Okay. Even when the easiest thing would be to stay quiet, and let the storm pass, you choose to stand in it. What strength do you draw on to keep showing up for people who are afraid?
Courage is one of the smallest words in the English language, but it means the most. I learned very, very early in my life from how I grew up that you can be on one of two sides. You can either take from people who have earned it, or you can earn it yourself and defend people who get taken from. And I choose to be the guy that stops evil people from doing what they do. That's been my whole entire life since I was 6. I'm not one of these guys that had the perfect family, or I didn't do things like athletics. I didn't do any of those things. I didn't have a mom and a dad on the sidelines, cheering me on while I was playing sports or something. I didn't have that, guys. There's no... I have very little happy moments from my childhood before I joined the military that I keep them close to me because they are mine and they're not meant for the rest of the world. I didn't celebrate my birthday with my parents. Hell, freaking dad left at 3. Just straight up abandoned us. My mother, who recently passed, was an addict. And that put me and my little brother in situations that almost, a good majority of Americans couldn't even fathom. That me and my little brother were surviving up until we got adopted, man.
Right.
That's where I get it from. The whole entire saying that the world needs to start understanding soft men create hard times create hard men create good times create soft men. We're at the good times creating soft men portion of civilization. And I refuse to be a soft dude in this little freaking hopscotch little world that everybody wants to skip around in like everything's freaking perfect when it's not. Reality is going to hit somebody in the face, and it's not going to knock me off balance when it does. I've already seen enough in my life to be prepared for it.
When did you realize having your friends back, no matter what, was non-negotiable?
When I lost Matthew Wilds in 2009, a 3,127-pound bomb blew him up through an MRAP and completely obliterated him. It was the first time in my life I had actually lost a friend, and he was one of 2 of the first friends that I ever had in my life. And I had only known him for 8 months.
What?
I just wanted to say to the Wilds family, I still think about your kid every day. Because actually his mom watches my stuff too. She just doesn't comment and all that.
Jig says, I'm pretty sure we are at the hard times right now. I don't know. It depends where you are in this world, I think.
Yeah, if you're in America right now, dude, you're at the soft men portion. If you're in somewhere in Europe right now, you're in the hard times portion. That's definitely true for Europe.
Yeah.
That place is about to blow up like a powder keg, bro, and nobody even realizes it.
Several times you've walked away from big opportunities or circles because staying would hurt someone you cared about. How do you measure the loyalty to people and then the matters more than the growth or exposure?
That comes down to a simple question of greed. I'm not greedy. I'm perfectly content with the things that I have in my life. I don't need a Lambo outside of my driveway. It's the most useless piece of shit you could ever spend your money on anyway. I'd rather have my truck. I'd rather have my gun rack. I'd rather have my shotgun. And I'd rather have my pit bull that's sitting underneath my chair right now. In my stupid little crappy house.
You treat
Uh-oh.
what?
Uh-oh.
What? I didn't do anything.
Oh, you're still there?
Yeah.
Is the stream still up? Okay, good.
Yeah, I
I don't
was
know why,
wondering.
but my computer really wigged out. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay. You treat every attack on your friends as an attack on family. What experience made it clear and unbreakable for you?
Wow, there's a lot that I could pick from in my life. The issue with all of my stuff. Mm. The situation that made me realize that you got to start treating people like their family is when I almost lost my little brother when we were kids. A couple of kids almost threw him over a railing when he was 3 because they were bullying him. I kicked the hell out of him, pretty much. And I was put in an isolation cell in Cleveland.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
After a wave of drama, you're still the one checking in on people. At least that's what I've been told. But I believe you are. Who got
I
in on it?
try
What?
to. I
Why
try
does
to.
why does the care continue long after your public fight is over?
Because even though we have a disagreement, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person by default. And I'm not an egotistical maniac. And I can be humbled because I know I'm human.
And you're not gonna hold grudges against someone for mistakes.
Nope. Mm-mm-mm. I'm not going to hold grudges. I don't hold grudges against people. The only grudges that I hold is if you take someone from me. That right there is the unforgivable one. You physically take somebody I care about from me? Nah, there's no turning back at that point. I'm either gonna throw you in jail and I'm gonna make sure that a judge throws the book at you, or other things that I can't say on the internet.
Looking at everyone who's ever felt safer because you stood in front of them, what's the moment you're proudest of when it comes to being their shield?
I work with a transgender chick every day. Every day that I'm at work, I at least have 2 or 3 conversations with her. Um, we have no animosity toward each other. We decided that it'd be a good idea after work to go get some chow because we had had a nice 9-10 mile day. And I was like, it's on me. We'll sit there, we'll chat. You know, she was really timid about it because of where we live.
Right.
She doesn't go out in public because of who she is and the way that the community around us reacts to it. So we were at a deli where I live, close to where we both live, and a gentleman who was a tad bit too religiously fanatical for his own good decided
I
to
know a
come up
couple of
and
those.
bother her. Yeah, and they were of the Mormon variety. And this guy, same age as us, he was like cursing her for being who she was, that she goes against the Bible and everything. And I stood out of my chair and I just looked at him and went, but the Bible also tells us to love one another as we love each other. Does it not? Even though she's different from you, you're supposed to show her the same courtesy and respect and not sit here and drown her in your own self-righteousness. You are a very unhumble person. And then the dude got into my face and he was like, what do you know about it? You're not a part of my faith. And I was like, I'm Catholic, man. You follow the same rules that I do. You believe in one God. Jesus walked on this planet. He was hung on a cross for all of us.
Amen, man.
Literally, literally the guy that you're the the very person that you're sitting here as an insulting in his name is an insult to his name and what
Right.
he died for. So I think you need to freaking back off. And I think you need to go somewhere else and take your self-righteous ass with you. This kid gets up in my face 2 inches from it, and I'm standing there like a statue. I won't move. I don't do that to people who do that kind of thing. And if you lay hands on me, well, then that's a step that we go. And he was like, you're not worth it anyway. You're just as sinful, as prideful as she is. I was just like, okay, guy, whatever. Go back to your little freaking Karen family of 4. And then we sat down and enjoyed the rest of our meal. I don't hate people for being who they are. I hate them for the actions that they entail themselves in.
Right.
I only hate evil people. I don't hate good people. It doesn't matter what title you give yourself. Straight, gay, bi, trans, whatever. If you're a halfway decent person being those things, then what problem do I have with you? And if you're getting bullied and you're a halfway decent person, more people need to stand up to that. Both on the internet and in real life. Because we're openly on the internet seeing good people that are innocent as hell getting mistreated in some of the most violent ways possible, all because people are using their ego and evil to do so. You see somebody getting picked on, dude, just because they're different. That's not right.
Well,
You don't do that.
I mean, my support group at the church, I'm the only one that takes LGBT individuals because none of the other priests will accept them. But I'm not even a priest. I'm a deacon. They pretty much just put them in mine because I'm a Gen Z. It's the only one. It's like
Hey,
offloading.
you want to know something then? Good for you. Let me guess, you're Catholic?
Yeah.
Well, then me and you come from the same circles of stubbornness and the unwilling fact to accept different ideologies instead of basing solely what faith is. Faith is a belief. Faith is a belief that one day you will face that creator who created everything on this planet, down to the freaking grass, all the way to the strand of hair on the top of your head.
Yep.
And if you can't treat other people the way that he did, then you're no better. You're not better. You're not. It takes more courage to stand up for somebody than it does to just sit there and do nothing.
Oh, I
It
know.
even says in the Bible, it even says in the Bible, letting evil thrive does nothing except expand it. And that's humanity needs to get around that freaking obstacle, dude, in a hurry.
All right. So you're on the last part of the questions, the community
Woohoo!
questions. There's just a few left, and they're all from Starcat.
Oh God. Here we go, my embarrassing moments.
Kodiak, who is on your body pillow?
Maury Calliope. Yeah, the internet didn't hear that.
Okay. Would you rather do the Hot Ones challenge again or take an RPG to the head again?
Uh, well, here, let's weigh the pros and cons. The RPG did knock me out for 3 days. The Hot Ones challenge made me relive that brutal 3 hours for 3 days. I'd probably do the Hot Ones challenge again. I'd probably do the Hot Ones challenge again.
I want to do the Hot Ones challenge.
It's, bro, it doesn't get that bad, but once you get to freaking 6 or 7, man, Lord, say a prayer. Say a prayer for yourself, bro.
I wanted this interview to be a Hot Ones challenge. We could do it while we were eating, but no, we couldn't do it.
Dude, no, you don't do that Hot Ones challenge twice in a year, bro. You wait 360 days, dude, before you try that again.
Please ask Kodiak
just for your own.
If he would consider unblocking Sheena Chan VT. I don't know who that is.
Sheena Chan VT. Is that the Cody Cat guy?
He should be Sheena. He's a vetted. He's cool. Could unblock.
On X?
I have no idea. I assume maybe on X.
My recommendation, bro, is to send me a DM on X. If it's on X. I'm sorry that I can't do anything about Discord right now, but I mean, I didn't even know that person was blocked. What the frick? I don't even know that person's name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just as confused here.
The block is on X, it says. Cody, your DMs are closed. He can't.
Oh, yeah, I did that when the whole entire thing... We'll see what we can do, buddy. All right. Okay. I don't want to hold up his interview anymore.
I thought you got doxxed, but I didn't do any of that. I just post stuff on Twitter. Okay.
Okay. Well, you might. Yep. Go ahead. Go. No. Go ahead, Don.
Well,
you're good.
Would you be willing to make up with friends you may have lashed out at?
Yes.
Yes. And this is the very last question from Starcat here.
Mm-hmm.
What is your profession?
How! Freaking Spartan chant. I knew she would do that. She would find a freaking way to do that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
The very last one.
Yes, I was, just so that unknown people can know, I was a part of Spartan Platoon, HHC, 112 INF, 4th Brigade, 4th ID. Spartans lead the way all the time, no matter what. How.
Would he be down for another interview, but not about drama? I've only interviewed one person twice.
Hey, yo, bro. I mean, if you'll have me.
Yeah, maybe in the future. Definitely. Because this one was mostly about the drama, since it wasn't originally supposed to be. That's where the first couple questions, and then the drama happened, then the rest of the interview turned into that.
Yeah, I get it. I do. I get it.
And I wanted to rewrite a few of these. I just got so sick with stuff. I feel kind of bad. Interview start next. Starcat has a 3.5-hour interview on the channel. You can look at it. She was interviewed 2 interviews ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the end. How did you feel about the interview?
Mm-hmm. I think that you were spot on in your questions, good sir.
I feel like I was dying a little bit. I was sick. I was a little bit dying this time. I wish I did a little bit better, honestly.
Oh, okay. So you want to bring me back so that you can be at 100% strength, huh? Okay.
Oh
All right, I'll
yeah.
take you on.
Oh yeah. Okay, but I think the questions were pretty good with bringing some of the DMs and stuff in there. I
I actually, I actually want to. I actually appreciate the fact that you did that, Don. I really do.
Yeah, I reached out to a bunch of those people for that. A bunch of people for DMs and screenshots. I do that with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Usually I announce the next interview at the end of these interviews, but I mean it was supposed to be Miko. As far as I know, they canceled it. I hope they don't, but it was supposed to be Miko and Distress together in like January.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
Distress is a halfway decent guy. He really is.
yeah, no, it was supposed to be them together. Um, and I was gonna make questions for it over all their drama and stuff, but then this happened, and I have feelings that
Mm-hmm.
they hate me now, possibly. So, kind of sad about that.
I I'm right there with you, buddy,
Yeah,
and I do regret it.
yeah. So, anyway, um, do you have any closing remarks you want to say?
Uh, Thank you all for being here, and I hope you guys appreciate the honesty. And I hope to God that if any of those guys on Kiwi Farms, you do have a problem with me, now you know a little bit about me. And you know what made me who I am. And it's
I
honest to God, the most probably honest that I've ever been. And I appreciate that from you, Don.
Yeah, no problem. I say this to everyone. These interviews are not for me. I try to get people's truth out the best I could. That's why I wanted to do this today, even feeling like this, because feel like it was necessary. You know?
Yeah, you know what? It actually helped me.
Right.
So, thank you. I appreciate the time, dude.
All right. Well, we will be seeing you all in the next one. I'm gonna try to get back to Let's Plays tomorrow, like I said on X, and avoid any more drama for a while. So maybe there won't be an interview for a little bit. Maybe we'll go back to regular scheduled programming.
I
Yeah.
highly
Um.
doubt that,
I
but
re- I re-
it's whatever.
I really I really don't want to deal with anything anymore. I was dragged from one thing to another recently. I'm just tired.
Dude, you know what you do?
But
When I finally got sick and tired of all of this crap, I literally turned off my PC. I only used my PlayStation,
yeah.
and I straight up did things that I enjoyed for me. Give yourself a little, give yourself a little personal, R&R from everything.
We know the Dawn's going to bed. Uh I I can't say what I'm gonna do, but it involves writing something. So uh I'm not going to bed yet. Kodiak, please don't quit. I was one of Hassan's trolls, but I'm stopping now officially. I don't think Kodiak's going
Well,
anywhere, huh? Right?
I did think about it, but I'm not going to. And the thing that I can recommend to you, bro, is an influencer is not just entertainment. They influence your mentality. You got to pick them better. And that's a really big problem. Another really big problem. You got to find the right ones. Can't just, because they're fun, go and, amplify them. I mean, Hassan's communities hit the bingo card in 2025, man. They've hit everybody. And don't troll people anymore, bro. Just don't do that anymore. It's not cool anymore, bro. That's so 2010 of you, bro.
Oh, and I guess I was told by a few people, especially because Gibbs retweeted this. For those on Kiwi Farms, hope you enjoyed your interview for his page, because they're here. Have fun with that.
Yeah, dude.
All right. I will catch you all tomorrow. What WTF is Kiwi Farms? Oh, Cougar, I forgot. Yeah, you're up in Alaska. They shipped you up there. You don't know. It's a doxing website. That's where they go to dox people. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
The FBI's been trying to shut them down, dude, literally for 22 years, failing numerous times.
Yeah, I doubt it will ever happen. Because you gonna be in your Discord after this? No, I won't. No, but I should be. I should be finishing Lunar tomorrow and then starting Expedition 33.
Holy shit! I've gotta play Uncharted 4 tomorrow.
Uncharted 4. Don's gonna sleep for 30 hours.
Thank you for reminding me, Don, that I have to play Uncharted 4 tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's a good game. You should play it. Don's not. Go ahead.
It's a yearly ritual, man. Like, the only reason I'm playing it is because, like, my top 10 donors reminded me of my yearly ritual that I have to do it in November. So.
Oh, all right. Good. Sleepiest guy I ever seen. I was sick. Don't blame me. Look at the other interviews. If I wasn't sick, I would be way more upbeat. Okay? Dawn, what do you do on the 29th? I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the 29th. We're not going to do that. Cougs. All right. We're peacing out.
Yep. See you later, Don.